Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. So this is a short in-between video where I want to showcase character creation or character generation using my Star Knave supplement, which is a ruled supplement to play space opera adventures using the Knave 2nd edition rule set. And you can pick this up from DriveThruRPG, and in this video I will be creating a character and I will show you how I usually kick off a role-playing series or campaign when I play my private off-camera games, which are not as, I would say, what's the word here, not as sophisticated or not as supplement intensive as when I play on camera. So it's usually a pretty quiet affair. It is me imagining a short scene, writing one or two sentences in my journal, doing some dice rolls, and I usually do not use miniatures. It's mostly theater of mind and short descriptive sentences mixed with dice rolling, and you will get a taste of this during this video. And you can also check out my tutorial using Dungeons and Dragons, where I actually try to show how a process could look like solo gaming when you're not doing a YouTube thing and you want to actually have some interesting things going on for your audience. So what will we be doing? We will be doing a character, or we will be creating a character using Star Knave, which should be a pretty quick process. And then I will play a short kick-off scene. And during this kick-off scene, I will showcase some elements from the supplement, namely the point crawl, hyperspace travel chart system. And I will also be using my Solo RPG framework and toolbox for space opera games, which I of course got printed for myself, and to generate some stuff in this first scene. So this is what we will be doing today, and let's start with character generation. So in Star Knave, and of course this is a hyperlinked table of contents. So if you use the PDF, you can just click on the entries. And character creation is a pretty quick process, and space opera heroes are more capable than fantasy heroes. So you get 6 points to distribute between your ability scores. You can't assign more than 4 points to one score. And if you want to use the random method described in the Knave rule set, you roll 6d6 instead of 3d6. But what you can also do, which I didn't state here in the supplement, but you can of course mix and match. So what I will do for this character creation, I will assign 3 points as I want to assign them, and then I will roll 3d6 to determine the other 3 points that I get to abilities randomly. So this is a nice method you can use if you want to sort of customize your character, but also want some randomness in your game. Alright, so I prepared a character sheet here, and I will of course be playing, this is a private game, a scoundrel and smuggler. This time he's called Kalen Ash. So we can already fill in the level because he will be level 1, and I will be assigning 3 points. I want 1 point in charisma, I want 1 point in wisdom, and 1 point in dexterity, and then I will roll 3d6 to determine randomly if I get any more bonuses. So charisma, of course, because I'm a charming silver-tongued rogue, I'm quick-witted, and I got quick reflexes. So this is why I want to assign 1 point to these abilities, but I'm not going to write them down yet because they might improve. So I'm rolling 3d6, and whatever the number on the dice is the ability that gets a bonus, going from 1 through 6. So we have 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. So we get 1 strength. We have strength. And the fourth ability is int. And so we get 1 int. And the fifth ability is actually wisdom. And I said I wanted to put 1 point into wisdom. So we get another point. So my wisdom actually is +2. And the other ones is as I assigned. I want 1 in Dex and I want 1 in Charisma, which leaves 0 for Constitution. So let's add this up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have distributed 6 points and we did it semi-randomly. So 3 points were assigned randomly. 3 points I chose. So this is basically it. Now careers. It says in the Knave rule set that you can choose or roll 2 careers. And here I will also do a mixture. I will choose 1 career from this D20 career table and I will roll the other career. And the career I choose is Smuggler, obviously. And the other one I will just roll. But let's put down Smuggler. And now we get to roll 1d20. Let's take this one. He's right here. To choose our second career. Or to determine our second career. Not to choose, but to determine. 2. Oh, it's Infiltrator. You are an expert at getting in and out unseen. So I got some sneaky stealth, disabling device skills. So Infiltrator. And the way careers work is in Knave. So in my hack, it's not that there's some starting equipment associated with it, like a normal Knave. But it gives you a skill set, not tightly defined, but open to interpretation, going by the career and the career description. And whenever you're in a situation where your skill set would apply, you get a +5 bonus to your ability check if you need to roll a check. All right, now gear slots is equal to 10 plus your constitution. So my constitution is 0. So I got 10 gear slots. And I already prepared some lines here. And HP, you get your full 6 HP at first level using my heroic character rules. So, but then you roll 1d6 when you advance in levels. But you start out with 6. And AC, your base is 11. But I will probably pick up some armor pieces. So I'm not going to fill this out just yet, because now we need to determine how much money I get. And you start with 1,500 plus 1d6 times 100 credits to buy your stuff. Ooh, I'm lucky. So I got 2,100 credits starting money. But that is actually also good, because stuff here is expensive. So now if I want to quickly navigate, I go to weapons, armor, and gear. So here it says what you start with. And now I got 2,500. So first we need a gun. And so I would like to have a heavy blaster pistol, which costs 750, takes up 2 inventory slots, uses 1 hand, and deals 1d8 points of damage. So for game balance reasons, so the heavy blaster pistol is not that much larger than a normal blaster pistol, but it's also about weight and it's a little bit larger, but also the slot system, it's somewhat abstracted also for game balance purposes. So if you look at Knave 2nd edition rules, usually weapons that deal 1d6 points of damage use 1 slot, and 1d8 points of damage use 2 slots. So I wanted to somehow or somewhat keep this balance. But of course, these weapons are also differentiated by purchase price to balance things out a little bit. But this becomes more and more irrelevant the more money your PC has. It's relevant when you start out because you have limited funds. But when your funds start to grow, it is not that relevant. So I still try to maintain this game balance by assigning 2 slots to weapons that deal 1d8 points of damage. All right, so I got a heavy blaster pistol, and because it takes up 2 slots, I will also fill out 2 slots. All right, heavy blaster. I will just use this sign so that it's like 2 slots are occupied by the heavy blaster pistol. And the knave, it says you drop items in slots that are assigned wounds. So to drop your blaster, 2 of these 2 slots need to be wounded. And you fill up slots with wounds from bottom to top. So it also matters where you put your stuff into your gear slots. So I got a weapon, so that is 750. So we got to keep track of our purchases here. 750. I got 2,100. Then I also need some form of armor, and I'm going by style, of course. I'm taking a padded jacket, which is like a heavy leather jacket reinforced with some blast resistant padding in the inside. So it looks like, so that's 1,100, and it takes up, every armor piece takes up 1 slot. So I got a padded jacket. But I'm not sure if I might get some other armor. I gotta see how much funds I got. Okay, you know what? I'm getting padded leg wear as well. So another 350. So I'm 1,450. That's what I already spent. And I get padded leg wear, which is like reinforced trousers, for example. So if you're familiar with the Fantasy Flight version of Star Wars, there's this thing called armored clothing, which is basically everyday clothing reinforced with blast resistant padding so that you not really look armored, but but you still got some protection. So this is what I will be using. So I have occupied 4 of my 10 inventory slots already with my blaster and my armor. And now I can fill out my armor class because I won't get any more pieces. So it's base 11 plus 2 for my 2 armor pieces. So I'm at AC 13. And I can also fill out my attacks. Ranged attacks use wisdom and knave. So I got my heavy blaster, which is of course a DL44, and it is a +2 attack, D8 damage. All right, so +2 D8 because it uses wisdom. All right, so now I got some money left. So let's go to the more general equipment. I do need a comlink for 300. All right, so I spent 1,750 credits. I got a comlink. And let's see, how much money do I have left? 350 credits left. So what can I buy for 350 credits? I could buy a med kit, which restores 1d6 HP as an action, but also heals 1 wounded item slot, which is pretty neat. It's a 1-use item. That's 200. And then I got a little bit money left as cash. pocket money, basically. So do I want to buy that, or do I want to have some more money? Yeah, why not? So 200 for a med kit or med pack, so that is 1,950. So leaving me with 150 credits. So I got a med kit, but I'm just going to call it med pack. And now let's add cash down here because there's nothing on it. Cash is 150. So I got 150 credits left. All right, so this is it. We're done. This is my character, Kalen Ash. He's got Strength 1, Dexterity 1, Constitution 0, Intelligence 1, Wisdom 2, and Charisma 1. He's got a heavy blaster pistol, a padded jacket and padded legwear, a comlink, and a med pack. He is a smuggler, but also an infiltrator, good at sneaking around and picking locks and disabling security devices. 6 HP, AC 13, and I got 150 credits in my pocket. Alright, and usually what I do is I start out with a starter ship with a tramp freighter, which is also listed in here, so I will use the normal stats. I usually put them on the back. I will do this off camera. I will just use the standard stats for the stock light freighter in this book. And I'm thinking about to make it more interesting because I got this ship if I want to start out with a little debt. And why not? So let's say I also still owe 5,000 credits. I got a debt, 5,000 credits to, of course, a loan shark because I didn't go to a bank. All right, so that's character creation. And now let's kick off this series with a little with a little one or two little starting scenes. But this will not be a new game that I'm going to play on the channel. So this I will play this off camera as one of my private, as I like to call them, kitchen table games. But I think I might show the process actually of how I kick off a session. If you have seen the video how to finally, I think it's called How to Finally Play Your First Session, or 8 Steps or whatever. So there I said that you should start in the middle of the action in medias res, and you should give yourself from the very first scene a specific goal or start in the middle of the action. And this is what I usually do. And so to save some time, because I planned ahead a little, I already wrote down the first two. So this is also a brand new, it's a cheap journal, a brand new journal that I will be using for this game. So I usually, when I start a new game, I not always use a new journal. I just start with an empty clear page. I put the name of the character and the system on top so that I know what I'm playing, because if you got different games going on, trying out different systems, you might get confused. So I'm playing Kalen Ash, and I'm playing the Star Knave rules system. All right, and I'm a smuggler, so I'm just starting in the middle of the action, and I just I wrote down here 3 bullet points. I'm racing towards the jump point, the edge of the gravity well. 2 TIE fighters are hot on my tail. I got a load of contraband in my hold that I need to deliver. All right, so we're starting right off. I don't know what I have in my hold yet. I will determine this in a minute using the framework. Doesn't matter. And I'm also, I don't know yet what kind of system I'm in. Also doesn't matter at the moment. The thing that matters, so just imagine the credits roll and then you see a guy in a cockpit frantically pushing some buttons and trying to get all he can out of his ship, and then you hear this TIE fighter roar and 2 TIE fighters are chasing me. So this is all I need to know at the moment. I got contraband in my hold, I got TIE fighters chasing me, I got a debt, and I need to deliver cargo, and I'm racing for the edge of the gravity well to get into hyperspace. So I start off with a chase scene, and here, and this is what I also usually do when I play my private games before I actually start space combat, to have some element also of pilot skill and like cinematic chase in there. I use this like skill challenge type system for a little chase scene that I also explain in my Star Knave supplement. So it works like this. To escape, I need to get 3 successes before I get 3 failures. And the DC is 16. I need to make a pilot check, but I get a penalty because my ship is slower than my pursuers are. If my ship would be faster, I would get a bonus. And the penalty is equal to the difference. And I know these are TIE fighters, which are in Star Knave called DIE fighters, dual ion engine because of copyright, but they got speed 10 as the old TIE fighter set in the D6 role-playing system. So they got speed 10 and I got speed 4. The stock tram freighter has speed 4. So I get a -6 to my pilot check. It says it -6 because 10 minus 4, 6. And the pilot check is either your dexterity or intelligence or wisdom. You can choose which one you want to use. And you add, if you have it, the handling value of your ship. So I'm using wisdom, so my piloting skill or ability would be +2. And but I have to get -6. So I was lucky here that I already got 2, because I already put this down using a different character. So I have to roll the check at -4. So actually I have to roll a d20 -4 and get a 16. So you see the odds are pretty slim, but my house rule was when I roll a natural 20, it counts as 2 successes, but a 1 as 2 failures. So I have a very slim chance, but this is also obviously how it should be, because I mean, I have speed 4, they got speed 10, so they will definitely catch up to me. But there might be other cases where this is not as clear cut. So if you've got like your ship souped up, if you got higher speed, if you got better handling, the difference would be much less. So, but this is probably a predetermined thing here. But I'm going to roll anyways, just to showcase the system. And I got some examples of this system also in the Star Knave supplement. All right, so let's get some dice out here. And let's just do the first roll. So I'm rolling at -4. Oh, and yeah, and about the careers, as per Knave rules, they never add bonuses to attack rolls or maneuvers in combat. So this is what I would consider a corner case, because we are not really in combat now. We are in a chase scene. And now you could argue, well, I'm a smuggler, which also implies that I'm good at flying tramp freighters, that I might have some piloting skills. So you could argue that I might get a +5 bonus on this pilot check as well. And I'm actually on the fence about it. So this is why I also didn't put it in the supplement. So actually, I am inclined to treat this as combat related, basically. So I would not allow a +5 to this chase scene check. But I could totally understand if you say, oh, well, this is stupid or not logical, because I want to have some way to differentiate a good from a bad pilot. So you could at +5, but then again you could argue the other ones are pilots as well, so it might cancel each other out. But since this is not a contest, it's against the static DC, so I leave it up to you. I'm not going to use it. This is more like smuggler to like determine price of contraband, to get smuggling contracts, to make contacts with the black market and stuff. And I might grant myself a bonus to piloting checks in other situations, like for example when navigating an iron storm or an asteroid field. But this chase scene feels like, for me, like combat related, so I'm not going to use it. But like I said, I could understand either interpretation. All right, the first check, it's a 13. Of course, it's a miss, and I usually have the successes here and the failures here. So the first failure. And the second. Oh, it's a 19. -4 is 15. Still not enough, but almost. So these TIE fighters, they gain on me. I can see the edge of the gravity well on my scopes, but I'm not there yet. And the range of Starship scale weapons is short range. They're abstract ranges here: point blank, short, medium, long, and sensor range or out of range. So 19 again. Damn, could have been at 220s, but wasn't. So of course they catch up to me. It is as expected. So as I'm racing towards the edge of the gravity well, those TIE fighters are hot on my tail now, and now they're in weapons range, and now they're going to try to shoot me down. And this is where we will roll initiative, and initiative is done by rolling pilot checks. And as I said, a pilot check is your pilot ability plus the handling value of your ship, if it has any. And so I'm pulling up the stats here. So these are dual ion engine space superiority fighters, so TIE fighters, and they have +2 handling and +2 fire control. So, but it also says plus pilot stat score. Of course, the pilots, as per normal Knave rules, so they get to add their level as their pilot stat score. And there's also like an NPC section in here. Where is it? Here. And here we do have the TIE fighter pilots. They're level 2, so these are like your basic academy pilot. And it says here, actually it just clarifies the rule that is already in the game. Adds level as pilot ability score to the AC of starfighter scale vessels and to starship weapon attack rolls and to checks to operate starship systems. All right, and they're 2 TIE fighters. So let's get some scrap paper out here. So those are TIE fighters, and they have hull 4. They have an AC of 14 because 11 base. Sorry, no, 15 actually. Let's check not that I got a mistake in there. No, because it's 11 plus 3, so that is 13 plus 2 for their level here. Exactly. So 13 plus pilots get stat score, which is 2. So AC is 15. And in space combat, unlike as in character combat, you do add your stat to your AC. You don't do this in character combat in Knave. But in space combat you do. And also there's no AC cap of 18. And so they have an AC of 15. And they attack +4 because they have a +2 fire control. And they get a +2 for their pilot ability. So it's a +4 attack. And they deal 1d6 points of damage. And yeah, that's just basically all we need. We got AC, we got attack, hull is 4, and my stats, I know them by heart now. So my hull is 20, my AC is 11 base, I got 0 handling, 0 shields, but my piloting ability, I'm using intelligence, is +2, so my AC is 13. Also, my attack bonus is wisdom, so this is always wisdom. It is +1, and my fire control is 0 if I'm not in the turret. And right now I'm not in the turret. I'm using the remote control from the cockpit, so +0 fire control. So my attack value is +1 because I'm using my wisdom. +1, and I also deal 1d6 points of damage. Alright, so now we need to roll initiative. My pilot, so their pilot ability is +4 because they have 2 handling and 2 level. So they are a +4 pilot and I'm a +2 pilot, because for pilot you can use either dex, intelligence or wisdom. Ranged attacks always wisdom. So I'm a +2 pilot. Alright, so and I'm the black die and they're the blue die. Let's see who goes first. Oh, they go first. 17 for me and 20 for them. This makes sense. So tie 1, tie 2, and then me. This is usually how I do this if I'm playing, so there won't be any miniatures or anything. It'll be theater of mind. Like I said, just want to kick off this first scene here. Alright, so the first TIE fighter, he is attacking me, and he is attacking +4 versus my AC of 13. And he's shooting green laser bolts, so they're behind me. This is all happening in my head. 18, so he hits, but luckily only 2 points of damage. So I'm at 18 hull. And now the second TIE fighter is always also attacking. And he misses, thankfully, because he would have dealt 5 points of damage. Now it's my turn, so I'm using the black die. So I'm attacking +1 with 1d6. And I'm using the remote control now. So I'm still heading straight for the gravity well. I got a turret, dorsal, ventral, dorsal, I think it's on top, right? A top turret. And I can remote control this from the cockpit, just like in Endor, where, what's his name? Forgot his name. Escaped this tractor beam. He also had like a remote control turret, sort of. So, so I'm flying forward, but I'm shooting backwards with my remote control turret at my pursuers. Please, they don't have any shields. 9. Would have killed him, 4 damage, but I miss. Alright, so and because I'm very bad at remembering, then I just cross off the first, so that's the first round, and then now it's the second round of combat. And I'm still heading towards the gravity well. Oh, lucky. Critical failure. Alright, so this guy missed. Pew! The other one. Yes! Look at this. He missed as well. And now me. So I'm not going to bother now with trying to increase the distance. So they're in short range. They have TIE fighters, speed 10. So I'm not going to try. 13. Ah, damn. That is 14. That is 1. Because they have 15. Damn. Because that would have been also destroyed one. Because they only have hull 4. Alright, so next round. And then what I sometimes do, because now you see I try to get away, they're chasing me, I got the edge of the gravity well, so what I do sometimes then is that I randomly determine actually how many rounds of combat do I have to fight before I am at the edge of the gravity well and can engage my hyperdrive. So after this combat round, I will roll 1d4, and this will determine the number of rounds I still have to fight these guys before I can jump into hyperspace. Yes, this one misses. So I can see these green laser bolts flying past the other one. Oh, he hits, but luckily only for 1 point of damage. So he just grazes me. So there's a slight jolt going through the ship. And now me. Come on now, let's shoot one down. +1 versus 15. No. Alright, so now I'm going to roll 1d4 to determine how many more combat rounds I still need to fight. Of course, 4 combat rounds. Alright, so now to keep track, I'm just doing a dotted line here. Now 4 more combat rounds, and it starts with the TIE fighters, TIE 1. So I'm trying to squeeze all I can out of the engines. Oh yeah, lucky. A 1, natural 1, because it would have been a direct hit, if you want to call it that. So that was the first TIE fighter, and now we are at the second TIE fighter. 8. Lucky me, also a miss. 8 + 4 is 12, so barely. My AC is 13, but it is a miss. And now me. Come on, let's shoot one down. Yes! 14 and 4 points. So 14 + 1 is 15. That is exactly what I need. AC 15, and they have 4 hull. So this is pretty cinematic. So they're chasing me, and I try to do some evasive maneuvers. And those blaster bolts, they go left and right, and one grazed me, but then finally I lined up a shot with my remote control turret, and one TIE fighter explodes in a ball of fire. And that was the first round of combat from the 4 rounds I still need to survive. But I took some pressure off me now by reducing the number of incoming attacks. Now the TIE fighter. 14. He hits for 2 points. My hull is at 15. In the second round from the 4 rounds that I need. But now I get to retaliate. Come on, I need a 14. And no, 9 and only 1 point of damage. All right. Second round. Now we are starting the 3rd round of combat before I can escape. 6 and 1. That is a miss. That is 10 + 4. That's 10 and only 1 point of damage. In the 3rd round. All right, now me. Damn it. No. All right, last round. At the end of this round, I can engage my hyperdrive. So they're sticking, or this TIE guy is sticking to me as glue. 15. He hits 2 points of damage. Hull down to 13. All right, so. But now me. Come on, that would be cinematic if I shoot him down before I jump to hyperspace. No. 8. All right, but that was the end of the 4th round. So now he gets to go one more time. And then my action would be to engage my hyperdrive. And I'm not sure, I just messed up my fingers again. I think this is, but I think this is from this blue marker here. Never mind. So, all right. And of course he scores a big hit, 6 points of damage. So before I can engage my hyperdrive, my ship rocks. So now I need to engage my hyperdrive, and I'm using a known route. We get to this because I want to make sure that this works. So this is like the astrogation thing. So let's see what I need to roll. I think it's a DC 11. Hyperspace travel. Yes, calculating a course using a well-established route is easy and requires a DC 11 int check and takes 1 round. My intelligence is +1. That's not that easy. It takes 1 round, so that's my action, and if I succeed, I will be just flying through hyperspace. Yes, 17. Whew, lucky me. All right, so he shoots, and as he has lined up his shot and my ship rocks from the hit, I pull down the levers and thankfully I escape into hyperspace. Whew. All right, so that was the intense first scene, and now I want to get some more details so that I can continue. So first we need to know what actually I do have in my cargo hold. So I'm taking my solo RPG framework and I'm going to the underworld job sections here, which are here, and I'm using the contraband table to see what I'm actually carrying. Rolling 1d12. All right, 1d12. What am I carrying? What is he carrying? What's so important? The technical readouts of that battle station. 1, drugs. All right, straightforward. So I'm carrying drugs, which would be spice in this case. All right, so who am I carrying these drugs for? I need to know that in case something goes wrong. So I'm rolling 1d8 on the employer table. So I'm smuggling spice for 5, a resistance cell. Interesting. All right, so those rebels, they need to acquire some funds. So they got their hands on some spice that they are going to sell to fund their resistance efforts. So this is strange. So yeah, so I met up with the resistance cell in a hidden wilderness camp. So now I'm spinning like a little tale from these results. And yeah, and they sold this spice to someone and they used the money to fund their operations. And maybe, I don't know if they acquired the spice, maybe by also raiding a supply convoy or something, because they need to finance their rebel activities somehow. All right, so I'm smuggling spice for a rebel cell. Interesting. And who do I need to deliver this spice to? I'm going to roll another employer. A slaver ring. Yeah, all right. So the slaver ring, they need the spice that because they use it in small doses as a sort of drug to enhance the or to basically numb the pain of their workers. So they're sort of drug. There's the slaves. So a slaver ring that is using slaves for, I don't know, hard labor, and they're needing this spice to to keep their slaves in line and to numb their pain. They drug them. All right, interesting. So the rebels, they don't have to or they don't seem to have any high moral code here, but I think this really fits with the movie Rogue One, because there you can actually see the ugly, dirty face of the rebellion that is painted there. Like, for example, when Andor just kills his informant in the very first scene because he won't make it to escape, and then, of course, in his little monologue at the end where he said, I've done terrible things for the rebellion. So they're not above liquidating people and doing nasty stuff for the cause. I mean, and in the series Andor, damn, I forgot the name of the guy that recruited him. I don't know. But remember when he just sacrificed this one rebel cell completely to not unravel his source within the Imperial Security Bureau, this Kruger guy who was wiped out by the Imperials, and they just let it happen to protect their source. So the rebels, they can be nasty if they need to. So we got rebels selling spice to a slaver ring to fund their resistance efforts. Isn't that great? All right, so now we know what I'm carrying, where I'm carrying it to, and who I'm carrying it for. And now we need to determine where I need to go. And for this, I am using my point crawl map that is in here. That is in here. All right, so I'm just going to roll a d12 for the starting point and a d12 for the destination. And we have already established, so 7 is starting point. And what I usually do now, I take my journal and I write this down, what I just determined. So I just put down transport spice for rebel cell, deliver to slaver ring. And now I rolled a 7, I think. Yeah, 7. And then I just do it like this, 7, and then I make like this arrow to, let's see where to. Seven to 9. All right, 7 to 9. And now let's look at this map here. So 7 is here and 9 is here. All right, and we see, all right, so it is 6 plus 6, that is 12 hours plus 10, that is 22 hours, and I have to multiply this by my hyperdrive rating of 2. But we can see that this route that I'm taking is passing through pirate territory. So what I will be doing is, for this section or leg of the travel, I will assign a higher percentage chance for a pirate interdiction encounter, especially because I'm using an established route, because I wanted to have the easier astrogation difficulty. All right, so what I could do also, I could, let's say 6, 12, 10, that is 22 times 2, that is 44 hours, if I'm not mistaken. And that should be the same, 20, 30, 40, yeah. So I could also treat each leg of the journey differently. So what I usually do, 7 to 9 equals, and then I add this up, 6, 6, 12, and 10, 22H I write for hours, and then times 2 for my hyperdrive rating. That is 44 hours. And this translates to 4 rolls on the travel hazard die table that is in here, because in these rules I put down that for every complete 10 hours you roll once on the on the travel hazard die result table. So it says here, after every full 10 hours, you roll the travel hazard die and resolve the encounter indicated. And if it's a known route, I roll a d12, otherwise a d20, because the chance that something happens on an unknown route, because you're in deep space, is less. So I'm rolling a d12, and I will look up the result on this travel table. And I can also so I can roll once after the first leg, because that will be 12 hours. And then after the second leg, 12 hours again. And then I'm at the pirate thing. So see if I'm going back to the map here. So I could say, all right, so the first 2 hours, because 6 times 2, after the first 12 hours, I make one normal roll. And then for the second leg, I could assign, leg of the journey, I could assign a higher percentage chance for a pirate encounter. So I could disregard the travel hazard die table and just see if a pirate encounter happens. And this is the beauty of this point crawl travel system. It gives you a sense of route planning. You could, if there would be another route available, you could take this route to maybe avoid hazards, but therefore increasing travel time. And of course, this is just a sample map I made. You can make a map that looks completely different, and you could, for example, roll randomly for every route. Like, for example, you roll a d6, and on a 1 or 2 per every route, there's some sort of hazard. And then you roll off, is it patrols, pirates, iron storms, debris, whatever, asteroids. And you could create your own point crawl star chart, and you could use it basically for all your travel needs without needing to create a map for every sector. And this is the beauty, I think, of this system. All right, looking at the time, I'm already at 50 minutes. This was supposed to be a short video, so I'm going to end this video here. I wanted to showcase character generation, this travel system mechanic, and I just wanted to give you a glimpse in how I usually kick off a private session and how I play in a less sophisticated way with minimal setup, just using a journal, theater of mind, and basically like winging things on the fly. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And there will be another video coming up with my regular game continuing using Star Dark. Yeah, so thank you for your interest and support. Oh yeah, and if you like what you saw here, please do not forget to like and subscribe, and also pick up this nice product, the Solo RPG Framework and Toolbox Space Opera, because it is an ideal companion to also, what you should also pick up, of course, is my, this is why I hate PDFs, and this is why as soon as I'm happy with a product, I get it printed. Pick up my Star Knave Ruled Supplement for Knave 2nd edition. All right, and as always, stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.